Warrior Stadium, my friends. Sikatigare, Ariato Kurshkunoho. I'm at the McLeod Falls trailhead in the lower falls. And the water looks, I don't know if you can tell, it looks deep enough to jump. Did not bring the trunk, so we'll find out maybe Sunday. Well, okay. Instead of going swimming unintentionally, I'm gonna hike to the middle falls and then the upper falls. This would be a great meditation early in the morning. We shall see. But I'm going to be hopping on these rocks here. Because it seems like it's just a fun way to go. Kati takarana hatakata skupuchu. Ratanani ria rahatakashka. So this is clearly when the in springtime when the water's really running. All these little wacos that little eddies cause and other stones in the river that are just swirling around. Like this. So interesting what water flow, time, and a little resistance does. It's all those stones are a resistance. That's why you signed up for this. It's the master class. You wanted to explore this world of contrast. And look at this. Look at this. Notice how the water's flowing on both sides of this big rock? But the water is eroding away at this rock. Because the water is taking the path of least resistance. And it's going to continue to do that. But the path of least resistance doesn't mean effortless. Does not mean perfection. But that's what you signed up for in this masterclass. Abraham likes to call us leading edge creators. Other creators in other realms don't have this resistance. Don't have the degree of contrast. The equality of contrast. The balance. Finally, we get to the subject of the day. Woohoo! And my shadow. Our shadow self is all the things we don't want to admit. The things we hide from our mask, from the illusion. And it's an illusion that look at the reflection. Hishanata arahatikatikaria. Hishoko orohonana heta. Kashihia rata arashkananirata. Oh, we're gonna get to it. This is just gorgeous. It's a 4-mile hike up. Clearly it's gonna take 12 hours. Because I'm just gonna keep stopping and stopping and stopping and being in awe. But this master class, they were all in. Is to learn how to be guided by our inner guidance system, by our source within, and attract what we prefer, regardless of the contrast. And once we get the hang of it, once we're satisfied with our process, we just are flowing with the universe. So I'm going to sneak up this way. I have to put down my hand to do a mini scramble. There we go. I don't know if I can do this the whole way, but I'm hoping I can. Because I'd rather be hopping along the rocks. That is what I prefer. So so balance. The yin and the yang, the bagua, the symbol we all know. In the light there is darkness, and in the darkness there is lightness. And they all are a part of the whole. Continuing. Ashawiya ataka. The entire aspect of our soul. Niharata kashira. We are spirit. But in this realm, we agreed for the full experience. That's just the easiest way to say it. We agreed upon the contrast, exploring consciousness, creativity amongst the contrast. Shaolin monks don't get to graduate until they master themselves. And another little hole that was dug out by the flow of water over time with the little stones, the little pebbles that flow in the creek. Oh, this is just gorgeous. Shaolin monks demonstrate their inner peace, demonstrate their ability to focus and be guided by their inner guidance system through the contrast, the rigors that they put them through, and they put themselves through. And one of the Shaolin sayings has to do with combat or conflict, might be a more general term. If you know yourself and you know your enemy, you need not fear the outcome of a million battles. And the rest is just eternity. Know yourself. That inner peace brings balance. Not that we're tightrope walkers. Oh, look at this glorious tree. Two trees, actually. Yakanara, Arahasaya, Takutakawa, Haranara, Kishkotata, Arahasaya. And another Shaolin saying is, their word for master is Sifu. The Sifu's role, job, is to help others find harmony within. Sometimes it's only by modeling that harmony. I don't know where we're going to go from there. Because it looks like I can get out to the river. But I can't go much further. There's this step, I can get to that. But I can't get anywhere else. Does it mean this vantage, this viewpoint isn't glorious? In a way, yoga is the same way. That you figure out over time. That there is no competition. It's between you and your mat. It's you connecting your breath with movement. And sometimes we talk about the other terms like pranayama, the breath work, pratyahara, withdraw the senses, dhyana and dharana. The focus of awareness. That's all the last four limbs are doing. That's all the limbs of yoga are doing. Helping us go within. To find freedom from whatever we feel trapped by. By releasing the resistance, allowing the fake thoughts, the non-real thoughts that consume our awareness, to simply go by. When you observe them, you make them real. But again, balance, inner peace. By practicing to go within and withdraw the senses. After you quiet everything, you realize what is true. Kusha to warwa. Sahatata karta nataria. We decide to not attach our thoughts to what is, and we allow it to be what it's supposed to be. Allow it to be what it is. I'm just as guilty as everybody else on this earth plane. Desires of the ego or desires of the mind sometimes come with attachments. It's like manifesting with purpose or manifesting for a purpose. If it doesn't come in your time frame, you attach contrast to it. And that contrast is not real. But by being balanced and allowing the truth to come forth, abundance comes instead. We'll get back down there. Let's get the aratata. And I keep laughing at the synchronicities and my perceived meaning of those synchronicities. I'm trying not to attach any meaning to it. But alas, I am human. Hiskutara, 17. Kishkutokarwatara takiteta. Yep. Nihurahata shayatuda. Kichara nanananiri, aratakatakari hatakatu. But that's just showing me what my mind is creating. If I want to find out what my heart is creating, I have to go within. Oh, notice he's quiet now that I'm paying attention. Sounds like a baby hawk or an eagle. Oh, there's the nest, I think. It's not a huge nest, so it's not a bald eagle. Well, light codes. I think that's the nest. Sun, and then up a tad, the big tree there. There we go. That thing. No, that thing. I can't tell. So we're going to do some light codes now. Are we flashing? Nirorata arskahisa. Niriata hatakaska arata hiridi. Nirata kashahata. Niroroka shawahoto. Mommy, where's my food? So well, 1919. This is video number 19. In the prep. After today, there's 3 more days until the start of the Lion's Gate on 8/8. On Saturday, I'm channeling for Hukalo. And I'll be up on the mountain. And I believe Sunday we're going to do something special. Day before. Spirit just hasn't given me the other 2 days yet. Some of the synchronicities and conversations that I've been having with random new friends. Let's just say that. Sometimes there's desperation to change something, whether it happened in the past. And somebody was talking about time travel movies and the themes of them. You know, there are good attributes and not so good attributes. But the movies are there for your entertainment and or for you to explore a theme. But the desperation, besides talking about lack, is there something that you want so badly that you're willing to do almost anything for? And in some of them, it includes murder. It's the same thing as what one might consider destiny. Because you think it's destiny, what are you willing to do? Whether you believe in destiny or not, can you allow it to unfold? It's the same thing with religious zealots. God told me to kill them. Or even worse, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. If you listen to anybody else outside of you, there may be some truth in it. But then again, if you're dedicating your life to what somebody else says, you're not being guided by your best source. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. The next best thing's Kool-Aid. There is no next best thing except that which you are creating. And the next best thing is the abundance that you're feeling and creating in this now and the new now that just unfolded, that just unfolded, that just unfolded. Back in the day, can't remember exactly when, that's your Google homework, Jim Jones in Guyana, him and his followers went on a retreat and they all drank the Kool-Aid so they could be saved and have eternal life. That's where the phrase drinking the Kool-Aid comes from. And not only do you use your own discernment, but your discernment from your logical mind is going to come from your belief system, which, as Abraham says, is just repeated thoughts that you give attention to. It becomes what you believe. But if you listen to your heart center, it has all the latest information. Even listening to me, if it opens up a pathway of insight from your heart, then I'm serving my purpose. If you're just listening to me and parroting what I say, not only Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? But you're offering it to other people. And if I listen to myself, if my advice to myself does not come from my heart center, it's yet another form of Kool-Aid or the next best thing. Even if you're a fan of Aquarian fire, it's not the next best thing. The only thing we teach in Aquarian fire is how to trust the fire of God, which is the fire that's inside you. How to not listen to your ego and what your brain wants, or what the resistance in all of your chakras want. It tells you what your alignment wants. Each chakra, absent of resistance, what it wants. And hopefully over time, giving you tools to repeat your own process. And then at the end, the very last ignition, the very last level, all we're really talking about is throw away all the tools. Use the tools, any tools of any modality, or any that we have taught, and any now, if your inner being is saying to use them. That's it. That's it. Not because my guides are telling me to do so. That's passing the buck. When we say our guides or my guides, if you don't see them as an extension of yourself, it's someone else to blame when it doesn't go your way. And if you have a favorite tarot reader that you go to regularly, or a favorite astrologist, or a favorite channeler, like, I love Jim dearly, but one day he will both retire and transition. If I build my life around listening to Jim, what's going to happen when he goes? It's just like the followers of Jesus, Yeshua. They were up the creek for a couple of days. They were afraid. They didn't know what to do. When all he was telling all along is trust the God that's within. God speaks with you from within. And even the concept of God. If you see God as something, someone external to you, God can become someone that we get angry with. God can be somebody that we blame. God can be somebody that we plead with to make things right. Instead of being vibration, knowing that God is living within us. And God will respond. Yes, God will send others synchronistically when you need. But they are another you. And according to the law of attraction, you're attracting it. I guess we're not going that way. And we can say no to that help. If you've ever seen the movie Yes Man, look at all the synchronicities that happened because he said yes to everything. Even though some of the yeses were dumb to a logical being, and in the movie you hear the guru who's pushing say yes, is saying it's just a tool to get you out of your comfort zone. To say yes more often. It doesn't mean disregard your guidance system. But because he said yes to everything. Yes, it's a story, but still. He continued saying yes, even though he did not understand it, but he brought it all together at the end. And the whole experience turned him from a flake of a friend to someone that everyone can count on. And even though everything wasn't tied up with a bow at the end, he's moving forward. That's all we're doing. By going within, we can realize the tools that we have to handle any contrast. And what ideals are you focusing upon to help guide you? Kutar wata arshkanati tu gurba kashkini arahata katakawarhati tu kursho. Some say that simply following the law of attraction and being in your joy is just satisfying your self-gratification. But if you listen to Abraham, manifesting in love, not for any outcome of a manifestation, that in and of itself is the beauty of it. Because we can be focused and focus on anything and accomplish a goal and drive toward it. Like Mars, Mars, the god of war. And then we roll over anybody that's in our way to obtain our goal. But what imprint is it really doing to you? What other experiences are you going to want to have in the next life, either to balance it out or to have a unique experience on the entire spectrum? Now we're getting to the middle falls, and I'll shoot that in a second. As other visitors pass, I try to respect them and not film them. So we got a little pool here, and look at those giant boulders. They were moved by the water. At some point in time, and some of these have fallen from the hillside, but some of them have come from the water, like the giant boulder on the top of the falls. Sooner or later, there will be enough water to push that over. Probably can't see it yet. We're getting closer. But we're going to end up here. I'm curious how many are still listening. Yeah, we're just going to go here. Sihatar hatananashkare to utkawara ta araskananira to urshkawa hasakahi. Kushkananara artikatakara tikitako. Korenahara artiskiara. Yaya katukura haratukatana. Iskatiriarata harshkananara to uratawacha arya tukunana. Balance. Harmony. Be easy on yourselves. Be harmonious with yourselves. And thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. And make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Oh, we got some light codes. Kasa atakarhatata arskanata ishkunanata aryatukutura. Shahyataka arhanatuku wishaya artakariyatakara. Blessings, my friends.